first things first, have a look at how beautiful a day that is. What you can't see, it's freezing. I'm bitterly cold, roof off for the first time and I'm freezing cold. No, actually in the car's not too bad, I have the heater blowing at my feet, but a very cold day today. Freezing's maybe taking it too far, but cold. Right, so in this video I'm going to talk about how much it costs me to live in Spain. Now, how much someone spends is obviously dependent on the lifestyle that that person wants to live. For me, I always knew from the start of making plans to leave and do whatever I was going to do that I was going to have to get used to living on a lot less than I did before. I never knew could I do that, because the truth is I'm not great with money. I'm a spender. I go on whatever holidays I want and buy whatever I want, but I've been in debt various ways all my life, and that's not a comfortable way to be. That's not good for your well-being. But I didn't know could I cut down, so although I planned and planned and planned and planned, before I left, that was my biggest worry. Am I going to spend everything I have in 6 months and have to go back home? Because I just know, with my particular circumstances and how much money I have, it won't last forever if I overspend. Well, it's not going to last forever anyway. It wasn't until I had my accident in Thailand and then come back to almost 2 years of lockdown that I started to change my ways. I was able to start changing before I even set out, you know, saving money for the first time in my life, and you know, that gave me a lot of confidence. It was still a worry when I worked out how much I have to live on. I have a step-by-step financial plan, which if I don't stick to it, I end up back in Northern Ireland with no house. So but that, and I know that's not going to happen. And not only am I living in less money, I'm happier living in less money. I'm more fulfilled living in less money. You know, I sold everything I had, got rid of everything, practically everything. I have a wee corner in my dad's garage with a few bits and pieces, but basically got rid of everything. My sofa, my bed, my TVs, just everything. Sold my house, and it just gave me a feeling of freedom. It was a wee bit frightening, you know. Am I making a mistake? Am I doing the wrong thing? I'm not somebody to look back in life anyway and regret decisions that you make. But anyway, getting back to the video, I'm going to go to one of my favourite places in the area, and it's Castillo de Guardamar, which is Guardamar Castle. Place I love to go, nice vibe, and get into the video proper. At home I really love days like this. This is like a perfect autumn day in the UK. Lovely sky, crisp, fresh air, wonderful. You occasionally get into a bit of bother in this street because it starts off at the bottom, very narrow, and if anybody's coming down, one of you has to reverse back. But we're all clear, so I'm just going to go up here and park. I recorded here before and I walked the wrong way. I went up there for about half a mile before I realised I couldn't get in that way, and it was boiling that day. It isn't boiling this day. I come up here quite a lot, probably every couple of weeks. Early evening, you get great sunsets, a great view here of the sunsets, although tonight just happens to not look like one of those red sky nights. Hope the light's okay. It's getting a bit late and the sun's going down. It's beautiful, chilly. Right, so I'm going to run through my last 3 months expenditure living here, and then average it out per month. So remember, this is all based on me, a single person, happy to live a far more streamlined life, and someone who has had to change my outlook on life, changed a lot of things. For example, I used to smoke during lockdown. I stopped smoking. I still vape, but I don't smoke anymore. I smoked all my life and smoked too many. I'm basically teetotal, although I'm not going to say I'm teetotal, but I haven't had a drink in months, so I'm not spending money on those things. So if you drink and smoke, you have to work out yourself how much you're going to spend more. But one of the things that helped me stop smoking and helped me cut down the drink is the way my mindset's changed with money and wanting to live this life. If you want the life, you have to make some sacrifices, and they've turned out to be great sacrifices. No regrets whatsoever. Like drink, I would have always had a drink on a Friday night and felt rubbish on a Saturday. Well, haven't done one of them in a while, you know. I've just noticed it's very windy now. It wasn't windy when I come up. Hope the volume's okay. I'm going to start off with the big items and work down, and the monthly items that come out of my bank or I hand over every month. And number one is the apartment. The apartment is €500, and that's quite a lot. If I decide to stay on in Spain, I'm going to move and I'll be looking for an apartment around maybe 400. I love my apartment, so my only problem with it really is where it is, and it's a wee bit expensive. You could get them cheaper, you could get them for 300, but I want my pool and my air conditioning and stuff like that. So that's number one, 500. 500. Number two, electricity. Electricity averaged out of the last 3 months is €68. So it's €68 a month. Number three is Spotify, which is 10. Have to have my Spotify. I'm music mad. I don't talk about it much in the channel, but I'm just listening to music at all times, all the time. Music mad. Next would be number 5, and that is Netflix. Have to have Netflix. 4 is Netflix, which is €8. That's the only paid television that I have. 5 is my car insurance, which works out at about €37 a month. 6, forget, 6, what's 6? Epidemic Sound, and that's where I get the music for my videos, and I pay them €11 a month. Number 8 is my telephone and internet, and that is a very reasonable €20 per month. I then have my vape juice, which isn't expensive, and it works out at €5 per month. Then a couple of things that happened over the last 3 months, which I just thought I would add in because wee things do happen. The vet, which is €54, so dividing that over 3 months, it's €18 a month. Then I got a filling, which cost me €36, so that brings that down to 12 per month, and that's sort of all those sort of bills covered. Then I have my everyday living. Number 12 is my groceries, and my groceries cost me on average €270 a month, which may be sound quite high, but I do most of my eating at home. Number 13 is eating out. If I got the numbers right, I wouldn't be one bit surprised if I've got the numbers wrong, so I'm not going to fix it. So yeah, number 13 is eating out, and I eat out usually twice a week, and that costs me in total €25. And finally, diesel for my car. Now, my diesel had been higher because I was doing a terrible lot of driving, but I haven't done a lot of driving over the last 3 months, and it's worked out at €50 per month for the last 3 months, which is nothing, because I'm in my car quite a lot, but they're wee short 1-2 mile drives, the supermarket, down to the beach, that's up to here, those sort of things. The drive I took today, by the way, I was away near Alicante, and I had to drive the whole way back here, but I can see my apartment down there. I'm not far from the apartment now at all. It's really starting to get dark. I hope it isn't shown in the video. So in total, that all came to €1,093. No, it didn't. You should never try to add when you're in a castle. Now, that's higher than I had sort of guessed in my head. I had about 900, 950 in my head, but it's still very good, and I would like to get that down to under 1,000. And if I stay in Spain and get an apartment, less rent, we'll be getting closer to doing that. So isn't that amazing? Whenever I consider what I spent at home, you just had so many bills. My direct debt, I'm not going to say what my direct debits per month were, but it was a crazy amount of money. And now, I said in one of the earlier videos, my direct debits per month is something like £80, you know, so it's just amazing. What I didn't count there was I've had a trip home in the last 3 months, but I'm not sure that's sensible to put in. I'm not planning on doing that for a while again anyway. So if you don't want to go home, you don't have that expense. If you do want to go home, you have to work that out yourself. Now, if I decide to go to Thailand, it's a completely different kettle of fish. In Thailand, the rent's going to be a lot cheaper than that. You get a nice apartment in Thailand for what would be equivalent to €250, or decent. But then there's far more to do. You're always out and about in Thailand. You just seem to spend more money. Cooking at home in Thailand would work out. All the vloggers who talk about it say it works out more expensive than eating out, because eating out is very cheap. So I think that would maybe balance out, or maybe increase a little bit my monthly spend, but that's the dream. We'll see if that happens. Also in the future, when my channel gets to 1,000 subscribers, you start to earn a little bit of money from YouTube. Now, it's a very small amount of money. You don't get into decent money. You have tens of thousands of subscribers. But it's nice to think that when I get to 1,000, which I never thought I would do, and I'm now fairly sure I'm going to do, I will start earning a little bit from this as well, which is fantastic. So subscribe, you're doing me a big favour. But what I've definitely learned is you're never too old to change. You're never too old to completely change your life around and live another different type of life. And it takes a bit of bravery, but now that I've done it, I wish I'd have done it a long time ago. So there you go. That's what I spend, that's what I live on. I've always had it in my head in this channel. I'll tell, and if anyone asks any questions, I'll always give the honest answer and be very open about everything. So there's nothing else on top of that I can think of whatsoever. I bought 2 pairs of socks last week. That's maybe it. Alright, so from this beautiful castle, on this very cold Spanish day, which would not be nearly as cold as home, no doubt, I'm going to leave it off there. So I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please subscribe. Just click a wee button, dead easy. I love to get your comments. Comments have dropped way down recently. I'd love to hear your comments. Thumbs up's really useful, and if you hit the wee bell icon, then it'll tell you anytime I bring out a video. But until next time, bye for now.